What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Backyard Barbecuing. Today we're going to be smoking a brisket in my brand new to me smoker, so stay tuned. What we have here is a Packer brisket. I picked this up from Costco a couple of weeks ago and had it frozen and thawing out for about a week now in my refrigerator. You guys noticed that the price of briskets are starting to go up. It's just a choice grade brisket. They didn't have any prime, so we're gonna work with what we got. So let's open this thing up. Try and keep a lot of that juice inside there. Move this to the side. And we got a massive one. So let's go ahead and pat this thing dry. I'm gonna do more of a backyard trim in this one. I don't wanna lose too much meat. So we're just gonna do a quick trim. Go ahead and check out my other brisket video and you guys see how I trim it, but I'm gonna do a quick one on this. So we'll hit this decal fat. You can see it kinda wants to just separate by itself. And I'm gonna chop this thing up into smaller portions because I'm gonna throw it on the smoker so we can render out some fat out of it. Get some nice brisket fat. Then we can go on the top and just start trimming. Trim as much as you'd like off of this. There's some silver skin that we should probably get off of it. Kind of flatten out the point here, just so when it's cooking, it has some nice aerodynamics. Turn it this way and show you. It's kind of jaggedy on the edge, so just kind of clean it up. Flip this thing over. All right, so we see that mohawk. We're gonna trim that mohawk down. Time to start trimming off some fat. You can see this fat cap is pretty thick. That's looking about an inch tall. I want to cut that down to about a 1/4 inch. Little piece just hanging here, so that'll just burn up. So let's go ahead and cut that off. And we're just gonna get really basic here. We're gonna go 1 part pepper. We'll go about half there. Note that. To a 1/2 part kosher salt. So half of whatever we just did. And that's it. Just do some salt and pepper, let this brisket speak for itself. Mix that in. Let's go ahead and get this thing seasoned up. I'm not going to use any type of binder, just rub this meat down. Flatten it out a little bit. And we're going to do, so we got another little gouge here. We're going to leave it in. So we're going to just lightly sprinkle this. I'm not going to try and go too heavy. This little tin foil thing here is hard to control. Next time I'll put it in a little shaker bottle. We'll just hit the edges. This thing fat side up. Flip it over. And just start hitting it. And that is about it. So let's go ahead and move this over to the smoker. So like I said, we've already have our pit fired up. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. Let's bring it over and set it right down. Now this is where our intake is, where the smoke is coming from. So we'll go ahead and aim the point towards that side. That's where our heat is coming from. We'll go ahead and close it down. And I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. It's time for an update. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we're at about hour 6 in here. And you take a look at that brisket. I mean, the sun's just hitting it so nice, looking real nice color. Our fat is rendering out. You can see a little fat here starting to render. What's really nice is we're not pulling anywhere. We're just cooking. We may end up having to wrap here. Got a little tight there. We've topped off our water a couple of times when we've added chunks. Take a look at that fat rendering out. I might switch it to that one over there. This one's not as rendered. In about an hour or so, we're gonna start spritzing this thing so the outside doesn't get too dry. Chuck back in a little bit. So I couldn't find any apple juice in the house or any apple cider vinegar, so I just went with a spritz of some regular vinegar, and I think this is like some kind of peach or orange or something like that, but whatever. You're not going to get too much taste from it anyway. And we're just going to spritz this thing just to start to keep the crust or the surface of it slightly hydrated. Put a little bit in there. And then every so often, oh, you could hear that bubbling up. It's a real nice sound there. So yeah, every couple of maybe 30 minutes or so, every hour, 30 minutes, we're gonna just keep hitting this. And we'll close it up and I'll check back in with you guys. So here we are at about hour 8 now. We're losing daylight, obviously. I was planning to cook this brisket a little bit later because I knew that I was going to be serving it for a little get-together tomorrow. I was going to leave it in the oven overnight for a warm rest. 160 maybe to 155 degrees to kind of just let it stay warm. What I probably won't get on camera today is me wrapping it. We haven't hit that part where I can wrap it yet. The bark is still kind of setting, but I'm going to wrap it in some butcher paper, put it, and then when it's all ready to go into the oven to be held over, I'm going to pop it in the oven at about that 155 degree mark overnight, so we can get that nice long rest. You want to be on YouTube? Come here. Yeah, I'm already recording. Come here. All right, so it is now the next day. And this thing has been resting in my oven overnight for about 10 hours. Let's get this unwrapped. I haven't seen it yet. We're going to see it for the first time together. Take some of this oil and just pour it over the top. Why not? So nice. So jiggly. Let's go ahead and start cutting into this thing. And we did let this thing come down to about 155 degrees every time I'm about to record. And let's take a look. Extremely nice smoke ring. Nice pull. Lovely smokiness. And let's just keep going. Let's see the bend. Bend's looking pretty good. No breaking. I mean, look at it. Fold over, no break. Pull test. That is some excellent lean. Let's cut that off right at the point. And we'll go ahead and keep cutting this. Kind of cut off this burn end here. Let's see, let's slice this up. Let's slice up these ends. That's the money. Tender. Kind of just like melts in your mouth. And let's cut down these fatty pieces here. We're gonna do a fat pencil width of these. Here's some of the fatty ends. Just look at how tender and just juicy that is. Let's try some of that. It just melts in your mouth. And that's going to do it for today's video. All right, you guys, peace.